weatronic.
So we are here on the 10th Jet Master in Meiringen in Switzerland. This is Jim, and we have Andy. Andy is a pilot and he is an engineer, so they both know what they talk about. May I ask you, is it nice for you to be here in Switzerland?
Very nice. The organization has done a wonderful job, the event, and we're very pleased.
I think it's just fantastic. The Swiss have done a wonderful job. The opening ceremonies were amazing. It was such a wonderful feeling to walk through the 6,000 people that they had here, and they had the air show. It ran like a Swiss watch. The timing was perfect. We were very impressed. Yes.
And the facilities are over the top.
Yeah.
And during Dayton, we pride ourselves on having a wonderful event and wonderful facilities. And I really feel like the Swiss have, in a way, outdone us in a lot of ways and upped the scale for this event. So I believe I can speak for all of our team members. We're very impressed with all of the facilities and the organization.
Yep, absolutely. The Swiss have done a great job.
Yes. I think the organizer would like to hear this, and he would enjoy to hear these words.
I'm sure.
So we can tell him.
Absolutely.
Yes. And are you happy with the flights? With your flights?
Well, we had a slow start because our air jet did not get here until late. We were not able to do practice flights. We were only allowed one trim flight, which was just a couple of laps, and then we had to go to our first round. So our first round was basically a practice flight because we had balance and weight issues. And so we weren't very happy with our first flight, although with serious errors in a few maneuvers, we still pulled out a pretty good score.
We did.
Considering the missed maneuvers that we made. Then the second flight, we increased our scores to a respectable level. And now we're waiting for the third flight so we can win.
Very soon today in the afternoon.
Tomorrow. We'll be flying tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
That's right.
So we're flying today, tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the technical problems that we had. The jet had been unpacked. The shipping label had come off, and they didn't know what was in the package. So they completely took the jet out of the package. When we got it here, out of the crate, when we got it here, there was an electrical malfunction, and we spent a couple of days basically ripping the jet apart to find it, and then putting it all back together. By the time we had that sorted out, the time for practice flying was done. And Andy, in the United States, where he flies, the altitude is about 100 meters, and here it's considerably higher, and it was a little bit different. So off to a slow start. The jet's in very good shape now, and we're looking forward to round 3.
Great. Because this would be my next question. How is the difference to fly into the mountains?
Oh, it's nothing like I've experienced before. I have never flown the background that's higher than what I'm flying. And so you have to take real care. The tendency is to try to fly closer in because you're afraid you're going to hit the mountain. But when you look at it, you're very far away from the mountain. So it's just an optical illusion. The other thing is the green of the trees has a tendency to block out the airplane, camouflage it. It almost very hard to see on the downwind line, and so you have to really concentrate to keep the model straight. And it's new, but each flight it gets better. We get more comfortable. And,
we have a silver plane
it's different.
with some red markings on it that generally shows up really well. There's the Swiss have got a couple of Hawker Hunters over there with green and brown camouflage. I don't know how they can see the thing.
Well, with the silver plane, at certain angles, the green reflects off the silver like a mirror, and you're almost looking at green. So it's challenging, but the runway and the airspace is wonderful. We did catch a little bad weather yesterday,
Yes. And the day before.
Yes, and so we had to fly around in the bad weather, but that's all part of this competition because anyone can be caught in the bad weather, and it just happened to be our
Yes,
turn.
nature, so we can't
Yeah,
change it.
that's right.
We have
Can't change it.
to manage the situation.
Right, and
together.
full
Yes.
scale jets fly in weather.
In weather too.
And so we have to too.
We were very happy for our teammate David Ribby, who's the leader of the U.S. team. He's got the highest flight scores, and had to fly this morning about 10 o'clock. And the wind was perfect. It was right down the runway, and we were really happy for him. He turned in a good flight. So we're really hoping for good scores for the U.S. team out of round 2.
So we hope so also, and we wish you good luck too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good
you.
flights.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, and a good time and really good flights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Bye.
weatronic.